I want to discuss the most popular Fiverr gigs that you can start right now and what are the top categories that will essentially give you the path to those $10,000 per month or more. And I want to also, since it's been a while, I want to also recap on my journey so far in the last I would say months as well, because there's always interesting things that are happening on Fiverr. Sometimes we can see increase in sales, sometimes we can see decrease in sales, and there's a lot of uncertainty. Actually, some of the sellers were actually messaging me asking about if I'm noticing the same. And in my case, it's a little bit different, because if you look at my numbers here for the May, for April, it's been consistent at about just 38, 39K. I do think in June we're gonna definitely pass the 40K mark, which can be a very, very great milestone, because this year I still haven't hit the 40K milestone. So that's gonna be exciting. And the whole of my channel has been just documenting my Fiverr journey and showing you what is possible as well. And on this channel I always share about these updates with you, but something that is very interesting that I found out recently, which you can also follow yourself. If you go to incognito mode here on Fiverr, and if you go to let's just refresh the page once again, and we can go into let's say just a digital marketing category, and then actually let me go here into fiverr.com, the marketplace. So if you scroll down, you can see there is a new tab which is trending, right? And in this trending tab, it's not actually visible when you're logged into Fiverr, but when you go to incognito, you'll be able to see what is happening here. So in this category, you can see what is currently getting demand and what are buyers looking for when they come to Fiverr. So as you can see, there are a lot of gigs related to the publishing book, right? Editing, designing, marketing as well, the book. This still is a very, very big niche. It used to be big and is still a very, very important niche. We also have here, of course, like converting to ebook, book writing, editing. This is always going to be there, because this is something that people just want to outsource and try to find someone who can help them, because it's really hard, especially when you're author, to do everything yourself. So people are looking help. We also get a request for people to run their Instagram accounts, for example. The next one, we have creating websites, right? So creating websites still very popular. You can see e-commerce, drop shipping. These niches are still at the top. There are a lot of sellers who have a very, very high number of orders. Building your brand, and that includes the social media management. So for example, this is the niche that my services are as well. And when you look here, you can actually, for example, you can see one of my gigs here, but typically I'm not really high, I'm not ranked high in this niche. And this is something that you should also remember, because right now, as I'm recording this video, as I'm saying, there is no more thing such as like you have to be on the first page. You can be high ranked enough, but still the most amount of traffic is not going to be coming to you just organically from the being on the first page. A lot of traffic is going to come to you by actually using the Fiverr ads, because you can be ranked high, and Fiverr has their own internal algorithms which can help you. But also the other big part is actually using your own tools and reaching out to people yourself. So this is something that I've been working and developing, and actually launched recently the platform where you can go and really keep track of your leads, keep track of your, I will show you here how you can have the system done. So most people say like, how do I increase in sales? How do I get sales? You have to have a proper system in place. This is the work that is maybe not like super exciting to start with, but this type of work will help you to get to that new milestone, right? And for example, I will also go and show you here. Let's say if going back to the Fiverr, if I go to my orders, one of the things that we also implemented, which makes this thing very, very easy to do, is that you can get all these leads right into your CRM without just manually adding them yourself. You can just do it with the one click. So when you when you go to your completed orders, usually in my case it's always breaks because there's just too many of them, and we're approaching soon 30k of those completed orders. But when you go into the completed orders, you can actually, so the platform allows you, so you have also a Chrome extension which will help you with your journey. And when you open the Chrome extension, you can actually export all of the buyers that you want, that you're seeing currently. So if you want to, for example, load more, you have to load more, and it's only going to be exported the buyers that you see. So you can actually go here and then export, let's say if you want a 5-star, you can export them all in the CRM. So that way, when you have your leads, your buyers in the CRM, then you can start to properly set the follow-up dates, set the message date, and you can add the notes as well, and you can add the labels. So this has been honestly a game changer with my journey, how I was able to get to that from being at 29, 28K, reaching 30K. So for example, if I go back at the last year, so I started to use actually the platform, I would say, more actively at the end of the year. And you can see here, and you know, looking at my, for example, looking at my impressions, they haven't really changed in a positive way, right? So if I go and look for the last 3 months and open up my impressions, you can see they are actually been much better before. But now they are, you know, they're less, right? But I'm not dependent on that. My goal is to, if I have an order with a client, for example, what I do here, let's say I have an active order with this client, and then as soon as I deliver, I can put this client into like a follow-up stage, or if it's a subscription, I can check it if the renewal is going to happen, right? And that way I can really build a system that will be helping me. It's not just, you know, manually putting it or writing it, but it's actually helping you, because even if I'm trying to reach out to other, let's say if I want to reach out to other Fiverr sellers that I can collaborate and work with, it's great to keep them in track, right? Or if you're just getting, for example, you can see I have 235 leads, and these leads, people who have not ordered from me, but they were very interested, meaning that they messaged me and they said, hey Vasily, I want to work with you, but then they didn't place an order because they probably messaged someone else, and then they maybe decide to go with someone else. But that doesn't mean that this lead is not good, because what happens if you message, for example, after 1 month and you ask, hey John, just wanted to see if you might be still interested for me to help you with your Instagram account, and he'll be like, oh actually yes, I tried this person, I want to try someone else, let's do together, let's work together. And that's how you get those buyers to work with you. And then of course the next job is to make sure that they're coming back, make sure that you can actually keep them on subscription. So you need to have a system like this. So that's one of the things. The other things, you know, like going back to the categories, going back to here, is that when you look at this, you know, at these categories, you need to understand that you must have multiple gigs, because for example right now Instagram growth, let's say, is bringing about, let's say, 20k, right? The content is bringing, like, for example, maybe let's say 15k, right? So but if I open gigs with other services, like for example paid ads, I can also get a traffic for that, and I can be potentially making an extra 10k just from offering paid ads. So you have to understand that it's important to differentiate. For example, UGC videos, I've been talking, we have also Chris in our group, in our community, and you know, the same thing here. You can see there are, you know, the demand is very high for these types of services. And essentially, you know, if you are comfortable with the camera, if you like to speak, you can just be offering, and you can be making, you know, 10k per month or more, because these types of services are very high in demand. You can see everything you click on it, there's always going to be orders in queue, there's always going to be demand. That's how actually Fiverr grew massively in the last, I would say, 2 years, because of those UGC services. So guys, this has been a very a new tab trending that came, maybe I have not seen it for a while. I've seen it just maybe for a week or so, but you can also see the increase of the AI services, right? The whole AI thing is growing as well. So this is also something that is very important. So once again, I'm also looking to continue expanding my journey and looking at the other gigs. We launched, for example, a gig where we manage we create the strategy for clients. And this gig, for example, it doesn't have a lot of impressions, but if I go to the orders, you can see, for example, in the last 3 months, you know, we got good number of orders. I can actually go here and check for the last 30 days. And if I open up once again the strategy, so actually it's been performing better last days, which is good. But you can see, for example, 1 order here, 2, 3, 4, 5. This probably got updated. Let's say 7 orders in the last month, which gave, let's say, close to $1,000, which, okay, might sound, of course, it's a lot of money, right? An extra $1,000, but still, that just one service gave an extra $1,000, which could go into covering certain expenses, certain salaries, and you know, this can be incredible. So you can have multiple gigs, and essentially those gigs are bringing you traffic, and people who, for example, order with us the strategy, they will go most likely and order the whole package, the whole content creation, Instagram growth package, which will cost them like $600, $700, $800 per month, right? So again, this is something that is very important to look at. Fiverr, if you just rely on the Fiverr, it can be very inconsistent as well. That's why I highly encourage you to use LinkedIn as well, because LinkedIn is a platform that you can really get a lot of good connections. You can actually showcase your work, showcase yourself. And when you're growing your agency on Fiverr, it's not very hard to show your work, because you have the reviews, you have the clients, you know, maybe some feedback from clients, right? The reviews, the feedback, and any sort of response from the client. You also have the actual work, the delivery that you're doing, because when you, for example, when you deliver orders, it's always important to include the delivery image that you're doing the order. So for example, in my case, when I'm doing delivery, some clients approve it, some clients they don't approve it, but most likely they can see as well some sort of let me just see if I can show you guys some sort of the cover. For example, like this one, you can see actually Fiverr has implemented the new watermark as well, but you can also have some sort of a cover, and you can actually share this cover on LinkedIn, you know, and you can say like new design completed for this type of business, and that's just going to work well. That's just going to help you with everything you have, and it's going to add more credibility. So guys, I'm really I think we you know, especially this year, is very, very interesting how the industry is shifting, but some things are always going to be the same, like social media management, social media marketing. These things are very, very important. And also, if you haven't tried the freelance hustle.ai platform, I highly encourage you to sign up for the waiting list, and you can be the first to try it out, because we've been implementing some really, really cool features. One of them is my favorite, where you can actually manage your orders from here. So you can just export the order from your order, and then essentially when the order is end up here, you can also see the requirements. You can see everything, right? You can also make internal comments for your team members. So I'm really excited to continue adding more features, more things, because I do believe for me, this has been a big game changer. It's been helping a lot, and I do believe that this can be you know, a big help for you as well if you're a Fiverr seller. And of course, at the beginning, you might need to learn how to use it, how to things, but we are really making a lot of updates and making it better and better. So I do believe it can become a very, very powerful tool, which can help you with many things: managing orders, responding to messages quicker, organizing your CRMs, leads, and essentially being a great, powerful tool to complement your Fiverr journey. And of course, as well, when you do sign up, you become a part of the community. So we have a close community on Telegram, where I share tips, I share updates. You can connect with me. You can also schedule a call with me in one-on-one. So feel free to give it a try. I think it's definitely worth it. If you have any questions or requests, you can just send me a message on actually below in the comments, or on Instagram as well. And we're going to be making some exciting as well things. So stay tuned. Thank you for your support, and hope to see you in the next video.